If you make jewelry, you must use pliers. In this video, let's see the difference between all these so many pliers. I don't just show you the difference one by one, but also show you how to use them and what each is used for when making jewelry. From the most basic ones every jewelry studio has, to those used for special occasions. So let's get started. There are so many pairs of pliers here, but there are only two types, the parallel one and the non-parallel one. If you look at how the jaws open, when I push the handles on these pliers, the jaws open and form an angle. But when the handles on this pair are pushed outwards, the jaws open, but they remain parallel to each other at all times. Because of this, these pliers can provide an even pressure across the full width of the jaw. If I use these pliers to hold a piece of silver like this, you can see half an inch of my piece is inside of the jaws. But only the very end line across my silver is in full contact with the pliers. The rest is not. But if I put the same piece of silver on the parallel pliers, not just the far end bit, but all my silver is in full contact with the jaws. This is handy if you want to bend the silver. You can make sure the entire section inside the jaws remains dead straight. So now if you look at them again, only this is a pair of parallel pliers. The rest are not. The same pile of pliers. If you separate them by their functions, there are two main types here, forming pliers and cutting pliers. These are forming pliers, and these are the cutting pliers. Within the forming pliers, these four are the most essential ones, and the ones are used the most often. They all have some plastic tubes on the handles as color IDs, so I can rapidly tell which one is which without checking the tips. Let's look into them in detail. By the way, if you like this video and would like me to make more videos like this one, please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. This really supports the channel and helps it to grow. And it doesn't cost a thing. First, the flat nose pliers. If I pull the handles outwards, you can see it has two flat-faced rectangular jaws. The other side of the jaws are also flat. This gives both jaws a rectangular section. Because it has two flat wide tips, I find it useful working with big jump rings like this. Second is the chain nose pliers. Same as the flat nose pliers. This pair has two flat-faced jaws. But the tip of the jaws are pointier. You can see it from this angle. It is a triangular shape. The outside of the jaws are rounded. The section of these jaws are like a capital letter D. This makes them good at holding tiny things. For instance, I always use these pliers to open and close the little loop on an airing wire. The third pair is the round nose pliers. It has two smooth cone-shaped jaws. This is specially designed for making jump rings of all sizes. To do that, you wrap a wire around one of the cones. Once the wire is overlapped, you have a perfectly round jump ring. The last pair of basic pliers I have here is the half-round pliers. Sometimes it's called half-round and flat-nose pliers. One of the jaws is the same as the one on the flat-nose pliers. The other jaw is rounded inside, but flat outside. This makes its section look like a capital letter D. You can see it quite clearly from this angle. The half-round jaw helps curve the metal, while the flat jaw reduces marks. This pair of pliers is ideal for creating rings. I have another video on my channel showing how to make a ring in detail. The link is in the description below if you're interested. So I'm not going to get into it in this one. With the parallel pliers, these 4 are the first few ones I collected when I started working in the jewelry industry back in 2003. Actually, because I use the flat nose pliers and the chain nose pliers so often, I got myself another 2 pairs of the same pliers. So all these ones on the floor are for general use. Next, let's get into some pliers that are used only for some specific occasion. Because the jaws on the round nose pliers are smooth all the way, it is not easy to make 2 jump rings of the exact same size. But with these wire looping pliers, you can make as many same size jump rings as you want. It has 6 different step round jaws. Each of the jaws measures 1 cm long. That's roughly about 3/8 of an inch. To use it, first you choose the size of jaw. This size is going to be the inner diameter of your jump ring. Then you simply wrap the wire around the same jaw. Because the diameter of the jaw is the same, the jump ring you make will end up being the same size. By having the wire wrap around the jaw, all the jump rings I make will pile up to form a coil. Keep shifting the coil to the left-hand side out of the jaw. You can make endless jump rings in the same size. Once you have enough jump rings, you simply harvest them by cutting them out one by one. So these are the wire looping pliers. All the pliers we have looked into so far has a hard metal surface on the jaws. This makes them very easy to leave a mark on the finished jewelry. This is when a pair of pliers like this comes in handy. It has 2 nylon jaws. They help protect the surface of the wire or sheet metal you're working on. My pair has 2 flat face jaws, same as the flat nose pliers. You can replace the jaws once they are worn out. This type of pliers come with the jaws in many other shapes as well. The next 2 pairs of pliers I don't use very often. If you look at them from this angle, both of them have 1 round nose jaw. The only difference is, one has a concave jaw. The section looks like a U shape. And the other comes with a flat nose jaw. The section is rectangular. To use the concave round nose pliers, if I put the end of my wire between the jaws and close them, I will have a hook like this. I find them only work with thin wires. Not sure why I bought this actually. As for the round and flat nose pliers, I can do everything I want with the round nose pliers. I haven't found these pliers very special. The last pair of forming pliers is this bent chain nose pliers. It is actually a pair of chain nose pliers with the tips bent upwards. I got it for under $2 from my local hardware shop. because it is not specially made for jewelry making. The surface on the jaws is quite rough. I mainly use it to break the tip of birds or jewel bits before making them into tools. I think every jewelry making studio needs such a pair just for general use. It doesn't need to be a pair of bent chain nose pliers. It could be a pair of normal chain nose pliers. Having pointy tips is quite handy for working on small details. So these are all the forming pliers I have got. The last 4 pairs of pliers I have are cutting pliers. They are for cutting wires. First, the side cutting pliers. This is also called a side cutter. It means it cuts from the side of the pliers. When the jaws are closed, you can see one side of the pliers is flat. The other side forms a triangle. When I use it to cut a wire into 2 sections, one end of the wire will come out flat, and the other forms an angle. When using cutters like this, unless it is necessary, you want to avoid using the tips, because they are quite weak. Otherwise, you might end up like me having a pair with a broken tip like this. I bought another pair because the tip on my first one broke. So this time, I bought a bigger one, hoping the jaws would be stronger, and I try to remember to avoid using the tip if possible. For the broken pair, I might repolish it at some point. It would be a waste to throw it away. This is another type of cutting pliers. It cuts at the end of the jaws. That's why it's also called an end cutter. The wire will come out very similar to the other one. The reason I'm holding the wire like this is they will fly away if I don't. One end of the wire has an angle, and the other one shows up flat. The last cutting pliers is also the biggest one I have. This is for cutting sprue in casting. It is a very heavy-duty one. This is the one you will see in my casting videos. If we go back to the same group of pliers, some are sprung and some are not. This small feature decides how you're going to hold them. If you look between the 2 handles, there is a steel strip on each side of the handle. These leaf springs here push the jaws open when the handles are released. This small feature actually speeds up your work and at the same time prevent your hand from cramping during repetitive tasks. This is another pair. When I use this one, I have to control the other jaw with my 3 fingers, not like the one I have just shown. I can push one side of the jaws with my 4 fingers. Easily you can tell. My strength will last longer with this pair. To choose a good pair of pliers, you want to make sure when the jaws are closed, the gap between them is minimal. With this pair, after 23 years of use, I'm still very happy with how these jaws close these days. So here are the most common pliers used in a jewelry making studio. I have 16 pair of pliers altogether. How about you? I'm curious how many pairs you have in your place. Which pair do you have that I don't? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, you might also like the one showing on the screen. It is about the many uses of round baubles no one talks about. I will see you in the next video.